This is In the Shadows podcast. Lots of cigar talk, but if it's going on in the world, we'll be talking about that too. And by the way, the fellas don't shy away from controversial topics. Trust me. So grab that stick, kick back with your favorite drink, and let's do the thing. This is the In the Shadows podcast. Now your hosts, Tony the Soy Sauce Assassin, along with Albert, Martine, and Eric.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Shadow Smokes Legion in the Shadow podcast. And I'm your host, Tony the Soy Sauce Assassin. And today we have Albert, Eric, and Martine Amaya, kind of famous. So today, the topic is something that you probably don't think about a lot. And I think it's kind of interesting. Is that, you know, when we smoke a cigar, it makes you feel a certain way, right? Sometimes you smoke a really expensive cigar, it make you feel a certain way. So sometimes you smoke a really cool cigar, it make you feel a certain way. I want to ask, right? Do you think the cigar you smoke and the brands that you smoke sometimes tells people something about you? You know, like maybe you feel like because you smoke a certain brand of cigar, you are perceived as, I don't know, badass or whatever. Because you smoke a very heavy cigar all the time, you perceive yourself as some, I don't know, buff guy or something like that. Even obviously some people don't feel that way, but it's just an example, right? So think about the cigars that you smoke all the time, like your go-to cigar and stuff like that. And what do you think that cigar tells about you? So we can start with Martine. And what does that cigar?
Think I'm cheap as fuck.
We can start with first. What cigar is your go-to, and what do you think the cigar says about you?
Go-to cigars usually anywhere between $5 to about $15. I mean, I think in that price range you can find just about anything. Picadillos, Espinosas. I mean, I'm trying to think what I have in my humidor. I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Arturo Fuente. I just feel like you don't have to spend a lot of money to smoke good shit. Even though I'm not out there smoking like the fucking Plasencias every day, I do have some in the humidor, but I don't know. It's like every once in a while you want to have a cigar that is a little bit better. You're just celebrating something. I don't know. You're celebrating day achievement, something you didn't kill anybody. Hey, let's have a really good cigar today. But I don't know. I just feel like within that $10 to $15 range, you can find some good stuff, and I don't think it says anything about me. It's just everyday stuff.
Okay, so but what do you think people will perceive? Like, what does a cigar will represent for you? Like, do you think people can kind of figure out who you are by seeing what you're smoking?
I mean, not really. I mean, Tran, yeah, because he's fucking smokes a bunch of expensive shit. Like, look, bitch, I got money. But I'm just everyday smoker. I just smoke whatever I want, and it doesn't have to be like a specific price range it's just good shit, you know? Okay.
So let's go to Eric. What's your go-to cigar that you smoke a lot, and what do you think people think about you when they see what you smoke, and what do you think that you represent for yourself when you smoke a certain cigar?
Fucking Opus.
I mean, if I don't review, right? That's what you meant. Yeah. I would probably grab an Opus a lot. I would grab an Opus. It's not like the limited edition Opus or anything. It's like the core line, like the Lost City. I would grab that a lot if I don't review. And if I'm not out with the boys, they're trying something new and stuff like that. That might be my go-to. And I don't see anything like, I don't care how people look at me. I just like to enjoy the finer thing in life, especially cigars. Cigar is the finer thing in life that you do. And that's how I like it. I don't care if they think I have money or not. If I'm broke, I save up for that one cigar that I want to smoke, and that's it. There's nothing more to that.
I don't think you guys understand my questions, right? You perceive people a certain way when they walk out with like, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, stuff like that, and they dress a certain way. They might give a certain vibe or make you feel like they are, this guy must be a lawyer or this guy must be this is what I'm talking about. When you're smoking a cigar, what vibe are you giving out?
Okay. I'm giving out as I'm a freaking nail tech.
What the fuck?
That makes no sense whatsoever.
That makes no sense to me. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I just...
So, like when you go out, like, okay, if I grab a expensive cigar, I don't know what vibe I give them. I don't know what they think about me or what I do. But no, I don't, when they ask me what I do, I buy those expensive cigars? Like, yeah, I play with bitches' hand and I get paid.
Wow.
Wow is right. Wow is right. So now that we kind of have a better understanding of the question, Martin, you want to add anything?
I think, I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. If somebody sees me smoking a cigar, most of the time I'm in freaking cargo shorts and sandals and a freaking t-shirt with my hat backwards. I mean, it doesn't say much about me, but I'm smoking I know what I'm smoking. And if you look at the cigars I have, like let's say I have a freaking Ipicarillo Allegiance. I mean, hey, this kid knows what he's smoking. It's not just, he went and grabbed a stick just to sit down and whatever. Like, he actually picked out something good, even though he looks like he's just a normal, everyday dude.
Okay. All right, Albert, now that you have some time to think about this.
I'm kind of along the same lines as what Martine was talking about, where the type of cigar I smoke, I feel like I'm a modest smoker. My target is about $5 to $6 a stick. That's really what I'm shooting for. However, I will smoke $10, $11, $12 cigars on the regular, but I try to mix in a bundle cigar that I've been able to find that I really enjoy, that tastes really, really good. Out of a bundle of 20, there may be a couple that I could throw away or I don't finish smoking or whatever because maybe the quality is not the best. But all in all, most of them work out pretty well. But I think someone might look at me. See, the thing is, I'm not really looking at it the way you're seeing this, Tony. I don't see this as me trying to come off with an image or anything like that. In fact, I think most people, when they see me smoking, they probably will not know what I am smoking. They won't understand that I tend to go more towards the boutique kind of cigars, the Espinosa, Casa Cuevas. I don't tend to smoke the name brand. When I say name brand, the more popular cigars, I guess, that you see in most cigar shops. In fact, there aren't too many cigar shops that will carry some of the brands that I like to smoke, so I have to buy them online. And that kind of goes back to the cost per cigar, right? I'll buy a box of this and a bundle of that, and then as I do that, my budget cigar price is about $5 to $6 a stick. But I do like cigars that taste good. I like cigars that are well built, well constructed. I like the aromas of cigars. But I don't think I'm really trying to impress somebody with my cigars, or I'm not trying to put off a certain image. But I do understand what you're talking about. I know when I worked in the lounge, the owner of the lounge was very much, he would keep track of what people were smoking. And some guys would come in and they'd only smoke $20 cigars. I mean, he knew that. And so he had those cigars available for those guys because he knew they would only come in and buy, certain brands, a Padron, a J.C. Newman, Julius Caesar, things like that. But that wasn't within my range. That was clearly too much for a stick, so I would not smoke that. And I know he had a perception of me as well. Like, he thought I was a cheap cigar smoker, which kind of bothered me in a way at times, but really mostly it didn't, because I smoked what I could afford. Now, there was another guy who would come in and he would only smoke $4 and $5 sticks. Like, Like he would not even try to smoke an $8-9 cigar. And then there's even the third guy I know of who would only come in and he'd put together these little 4-packs of, bundle 4-packs where he would charge $16 for the bundle. And, he probably put the bundle together for maybe $8. So that guy would generally smoke a good cigar if he was given one, or every once in a while he'd go and grab a $10 stick. But he just thought all the cigars tasted the same, and he just smoked what he did. But yet again, he smoked 3-4 cigars a night. So, he was clearly a budget cigar smoker, but he enjoyed doing it. But I didn't really look at him. I don't look at him as a cheap smoker per se, because he does what he enjoys. So I'm not really following the line that you're going with per se, because I don't know. I know people smoke things for certain reasons, but I don't know. I just hadn't really seen that too much in the circles that I've been in, where they feel like, where they have to smoke a certain brand or they have to smoke a certain price. So it's this question might be a little bit lost on me, frankly.
Okay, let me give some examples, right? So, just few examples. One of them will be I've seen this guy in the lounge a few times, but every time he light up a cigar, first thing he does is take off the band and put it in his pocket. He doesn't want anybody knowing what he's smoking, but first thing is he take off the band, put it in his pocket, and he starts smoking it. And he only smokes Toro or larger size, nothing smaller. I never seen him smoke any Robusto, Corona, Lancero, nothing. Just Toro or bigger. All right. And granted, this guy is pretty big. He's a big guy, taller than me. And he just does that. He sits down, take off the band. Even if he's taking out a cigar from his little humidor bag, he will take off the band first and put it in his pocket and then start smoking it. So he's giving out that vibe, the big guy smoking big cigar kind of vibe, even though he doesn't want you to know what he smoked, but then you kind of judge him by the cigar size that he's smoking, big guy smoking big cigar kind of thing. That's one of them. But on the opposite spectrum, we have the Texas member, Taylor. He smokes diggers, and not just small diggers,
all the time,
giant diggers. And this guy's a skinny as hell guy, and just make you feel like, how did he swallow that thing? I mean, holy shit, that's a lot of strength, right? Like how the hell did he smoke that? And he smoked not one, not 2, 3, 4, 5 a day. It's, it gave you the vibe like, this guy's crazy, but cool guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he walked into the lounge yesterday and he had one in his hand, lit it up, and then walked out.
And then you have these guys who dress up in suits, and then literally they are afraid that you don't see that they're smoking some name brand cigars like Davidoff, Opus X, Fuente, Arturo Fuentes, Zeno, all those things. Like, they make sure that when they smoke, the band is facing up. Okay, so everybody can tell what they're smoking. Dressing suit, full suit. So you're like, okay, this is, it gives out the vibe, right? You give that vibe that says, this guy's a business person or wannabe, but he wants to make sure that he spent big money to smoke, right? So there's like the 3 different kind of people that we already automatically judge by just looking at them, right? But you also have these people in the normal spectrum where you see a relaxed guy who will just smoke whatever that interests them. It really doesn't matter, chill guy, and then willing to talk. And they that's what I'm saying. Some people feel like the cigar represent their status, makes them feel good, and they want the whole world to know that they have worked very hard to get to this point to smoke that kind of cigar, and they are afraid that people don't know. It's crazy. And then you have these people who like, I don't want people to know what I'm smoking. I can be smoking a bundle. I can smoke it now. This is the flavor I like. I'm taking the band off. I don't want to talk to you about what brand I'm smoking. I want regular conversation, nothing about my cigar.
So what percentage of the smokers do you think fit in that category, where they're just wanting to smoke and not be really judged for that? I think it's a high percentage.
I say it's high percent, maybe 70, 80% of the people who smoke are like that. Okay, they will pick out whatever that's interest them, but they don't feel like that cigar gives them any of the image. In fact, it does give them an image. It gives you a very common smoker image, right? It's a very common guy. Is willing to try everything so long as it's within their price range.
Right. And then
that's the image, right?
and I'll say I have seen people come in who will only smoke Gordos or higher, right? They'll smoke the 770s, and that's a big deal for them. I don't like smoking those cigars. I feel like there really isn't a lot of flavor or if there is a lot of flavor, there's just too much smoke to be dealing with, and but they would not see themselves smoking a smaller ring gauge cigar. And I think some of that is image, because if you ask them what they're smoking, they don't know anything about the cigar. They don't talk about the cigar at all. In fact, if you try talking about the cigar with them, you get chastised. You get chided for wanting to talk about what they taste, and it's almost like they, why are you talking about that, man? You're one of those cigar geek kind of people. So, but I see them going with the image. I think there is some of that going on, but I think it's few and far between. I see more of the, like I said, you said 70 or 80%. I kind of agree with that. There's a higher percentage where they're just wanting to come in and smoke, relax, and not worry too much about it.
And a lot of them is not just the brand, right? A lot of them had to do the size. So just think of it this way, just image it, right? This guy, let's say 350 pounds, 7 feet tall guy. On his hand, if you're smoking a Robusto and smaller, it looks like he's smoking a blunt because it's so tiny, right? So they tend to lead to a bigger cigar so that they look normal. And that's the image they want to keep. They don't want to be called small. They don't want to be smoking small cigars. They want to feel manly, and they grab a giant ass cigars. Someone that's like, you just imagine this Shaquille O'Neal come in holding a Robusto. That thing's smaller than his finger, right? He's probably like, and he wouldn't even look weird if he decided to smoke a Woody because he's so big. Right. Yao Ming walking to the place, decide to pick a cigar. You think he's gonna pick up a Corona? That thing disappear in his hand.
Nope.
No, but but if you have a skinny guy, real tall skinny guy, and he's smoking a Lancero, that makes sense, right?
No, it will still look weird because the cigar will just look significantly smaller than the person.
No. If he's a tall skinny dude and he's smoking a Lancero, that fits. That fits fine.
I don't know. I disagree.
It's
like the thinner the cigar it is, the more feminine we see it. At least for Asian,
no,
the thinner the cigar is, the more feminine it is.
And that goes back to image. So you and Eric would see that as feminine, but I would see it as that's what you would expect. I mean, I can even see like a cowboy kind of guy, right? A real lanky cowboy dude. He's probably got some Lanceros sticking out of his pocket, and he's lighting one up. That would fit. That would make sense.
I would think that will have you somewhere under Churchill size to make sense. Not Lancero, Churchill.
No, Lancero. I bet if we Google...
with somebody that big, with a lung that big, they take 2 puffs, Lancero's gone.
Well, perhaps, but I bet if you Google tall, skinny cowboy smoking cigar, you'll probably find a Lancero in their hand.
That's different because back in the day, the cowboy image is smoking a cigarette. Like cowboy is really not the cowboy we think of. When we watch something Wild Wild West, that's not real cowboy. That's the image that was created.
I think cigars were more common than cigarettes, for sure.
No, but yeah, they smoke a tiny cigarello rather than a full cigar a lot of the time.
Right. What is it? The Clint Eastwood cigar or whatever that is?
Right. But it was meant to be like a badass thing because when it burns right next to his face. Because if he had to do cigar, he had to pull it away from the face every single time. But that small little thing, he just holds in the corner of his mouth, take a puff. That cigar is halfway burned already, and that looked badass. Sure, it's the same quality or same image as smoking a cigarette, but cigar just made it a little bit more badass. But in terms of that long, thin cigar, it looks feminine. Like, it's not as badass. Like if you ever watch any cartoon or whatever, the cartoon character never holds a small cigar, right? They always hold a big cigar because they're tiny guys. They want to have a big image, so they hold a big cigar.
Yeah, but for the small guy, he's generally short, and he's got a fat cigar. That's because he's short and fat.
No, but then they're not smoking a nub.
No, they're not smoking a nub, but it's pretty close to a nub. It's like a
Figurado. They're smoking usually a Perfecto.
Okay.
Yeah, Perfecto is not tiny. It's not a nub. It's not.
It's not a nub, but it's shorter. It's shorter than a Toro.
It's definitely shorter than a Toro. Yeah. So I mean, obviously they don't want to draw something that big, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? It does give cigar. It does give an image, like a perception, right? I just wonder if a lot of people actually thought about that, because I don't think about that. I smoke ranges, right? I smoke bundles. I smoke expensive. I smoke normal. I smoke whatever that looks retarded. I smoke whatever that interests me, so long as the packaging looks cool, right? Even if it tastes like shit, I'll go buy a box for it. But I smoke all kind, and there, my wife just happened to ask, "What does people feel about you when they see what you smoke?" I said, "I don't know. I never thought about that." But I'm pretty sure that it does give an image sometimes, right? Like if I dressed up, I'm smoking Oro Blanco, this guy's like, oh, that guy must be a banker or something. I don't know. But then if I'm wearing my normal hoodie and smoking I don't know, unbended cigar, I look like an 18-year-old that's just smoked it for the very first time. So I feel like there is some sort of image that people don't think about that's automatically perceived. We're not asking for it, but you're pretty sure that, whenever you go to a lounge to smoke, there's got to be one point where you just look around and see what people are smoking, right? And that's the time where people is kind of thinking, oh, what's his story? What's his story? What's her story? Why are they smoking this? And you turn around and see somebody smoking Cuba. It's like, did he just not get laid for like 13 weeks?
When you see that, like, bitch.
What the hell?
I'm telling you, I'm gonna light up a freaking groovy blue, and I'm gonna smoke it right in front of you, Trent.
And I'd be like, bitch.
But that's what I'm saying. You Martin, haven't got laid for, I don't know, 3 months.
Oh my God.
Decided to go smoke a groovy blue. That's exactly what I'm saying. You go choose a weird ass cigar to smoke because you just feel like weird that day. So that's what I'm saying. It gives a perception of something, and like, if you're smoking a celebratory cigar, people are like, hey, what's the good news, right? You see somebody sit down, lit up a Patron 50th anniversary. You're like, oh, that guy's having a good day, right? You wouldn't be like, look, that guy's smoking a Patron 50th anniversary. His mother died.
No.
You wouldn't, right? You wouldn't, right? So the cigar is giving you a particular perception, and then give you that feeling of some sort of story behind it. Not that I have those stories. I mean, whenever I go to a lounge, I just choose whatever that looks there and then grab whatever.
Yeah, you just smoke whatever.
No, like, so, talking about image, the people at my workplace, they find out that I have a channel and they see me smoking cigars. Their image of me is a fucking mafia image. They're like, you look too gangster. You shouldn't do that. And I was like, I'm just smoking a cigar. So, yeah. So I do understand that.
Say the person who had an opening with him lighting a cigar with money.
Right.
And that's supposed to look like a loser? Is that what it is?
Well, it's just a cool opening, right? That was my thought.
And that's gangster, right? So that does look gangster, because who else will do that? Goes out there and say, let me use $100 bill and lit up a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He got you. Yep, he got
you on that one.
Yeah, he did.
Right. So I mean, there are other perceptions, right? Like when you see Bob the Cigar Guy, the way he smoked, the way he handles things, the way his channel is, it does feel like he's like average Joe, right? Like, he's one of us. He's close. He's a very easygoing person. Doesn't that feel that way? It's a perception I give that image, because the way he smoked, the way the choice of a smoke that he smokes, I kind of give that image a little bit. Even though he doesn't smoke anything different, Jewish steak and stuff, it just feels that way, right? And you watch certain channel, like when you watch the David of London, you see the guy dressed up, you see the guy take 15 hours to light up a cigar. You're like, that guy is a gentleman. He probably owns.
He got 15, class.
Yeah, he's got 15 manners. He's got like, maids at home. He's got 25 slaves in the backyard. He's a gentleman.
Oh shit!
Right.
All right.
So it gives an image, right? Because the way he smoked, the way he's dressed, it gives you that image, right? He looks like someone that will open the door if you're a lady.
Oh yeah, but don't all of us would though, right?
I'm just saying he looks like, right? Well, and if you look like somebody's, I don't know, cooked beer, he smoked a cigar. He's like as if he like had 15 too much coffee or something like that. It's exploding. It's like a very crazy, I don't know, almost look like he just came back from the war zone, has PTSD, and smoking a cigar crazy guy, and he gives that vibe. And he smoked bundles, but he gives that vibe to you that he's a very explosive guy. And the way he smoked, the way he put himself together, again, image, right? That's the way he smokes a cigar, the way he handles himself, gives you that image as a cigar smoker. Now we do kind of have a somewhat a category, right? You have the average Joe who smokes anything that they can afford, right? Then you have some sort of semi-aficionado who smoke, somewhat expensive branded or boutique cigar, but not all the time, and know some knowledge, and they can hold their spot when they're talking to you, right? They know what they're talking about. And then we have the aficionados who are similar to like Lewis, right? He'll smoke, he'll enjoy pretty much anything, but he will have a really educated conversation, give you another knowledge, and then he dress well, he speaks well, just very well put together, right? And then we have the snobs, right, who need to make sure that he's wearing Louis Vuitton belts, Ferragamo shoes, Gucci shirts, and Versace underwear. Just to make sure that that the underwear is Versace too. He make sure to tell you my underwear is Versace. Hey. And let me finish. And then he'll come out, make sure he pull the cigar out, and just show everybody across the room, like, hey, smoking Opus X, very expensive. This thing, limited edition. Only 15 people in the world has it. And then he light it up and says, hey, guys, make sure you're supposed to light the cigar, you got to toast the foot first. All right, all of you did it wrong. Toast the foot first. All right, you got to get way better. He just educates you as he go, even though everybody already know, right? Educates you. Take a puff and go, oh, sometimes you guys really need to spend some money on the cigar because, damn, all of you people suck. Do you have that kind of people, right? I mean, I think that's a pretty good category now, separation. But the average Joe, pretty much 70-80% of people are like that. Average Joe. Just smoke whatever we can afford and really enjoy the conversation rather than the image that they give off kind of thing. But, we do put them into category, right? Technically. When you see a bunch of people, you talk about certain people, you automatically put them in the category.
So what do you think, how do you feel like the cigar companies are feeding that with their banding of the cigars, the way they package the cigars with the boxes and so forth, the names of the cigars? Do you think that they're feeding that particular image? I
do.
Yes.
Actually, I feel like they automatically put that in categories, right? Because you have like what they call like the heritage cigars, right? Which give off the heritage people to just enjoy this whole cigar thing, heritage cigar. They have boutique, boutique cigars where people's like, I love this thing, but I want to be just a little bit more special, right? You start to get to that higher end $12, $18 cigars. And then they also make this, what they call a premium or ultra premium, because they already call the boutique cigar premium. They call it ultra premium cigar, which is like $20+ cigars, right? They're already fitting you to the spot. If you can afford their ultra premium cigars, you have smoked for a while and you collect cigars, all right? You start to collect cigar. And then we have just luxury cigars, which they make sure the box looks good just on your table. Somebody walk into your office, see that box, they go, holy shit, this guy's smokes cigar, right? They won't even, like other places, they're like, oh, you smoke cigar? But this what I'm talking about is like, one of those dumb pepper humidor on the table, or like, $10,000 Opus X humidor on the table. You walk into the office, you go like, holy shit, this guy smoke cigar.
Yep.
Cigar.
Like he knows shit.
So, there's that category that they put in, right? And then at the end, which is kind of the opposite, you have cigar makers who smoke other people's cigar, but they just do whatever. Somehow it's just, they're just, at its own category, but they smoke any cigar. Because to them, the cost and the value of the cigar is different to them, right? So I think they do fit into places. And when you get to the ultra premium, they are setting it up so that you have that image to upkeep, and you must have it, right? Because like, who in the normal world will spend $10,000, $30,000 on a humidor? And we're talking about table humidor. We're not even talking about giant,
Yeah,
in
they're
the
not
room
even giant.
humidor.
Yeah. Just a small
Yeah.
table humidor.
So when you're at that category, they're trying to make sure that people knows what you have on the table. They don't make it into a dull color. They make it in the color that you can see 60 miles away. Squinted,
Chinese mode.
right? You'll be able to tell this guy spent a lot of money on cigar. He knows what he's talking about. I know his annual salary is at least $30,000 because he just bought a $30,000 humidor.
Yup. That hurt. Oh, can we not
Right?
talk about that?
Right? So you know that space they're in, they fit their category into space. Somebody who normally smoked Davidoff, I'm talking about somebody normally smoked Davidoff, has at least $80,000 to $100,000 in salary a year. Because that's the money they need to upkeep smoking Davidoff continuously on the daily. If you don't have that kind of salary, you better tell me that your housing's free.
I mean, I don't even smoke Davidoffs and make just under that.
Yeah, but I say at least, right? At least. We're talking about if you make $100,000 a year, you can comfortably smoking one Davidoff a day.
Yeah.
One,
Yeah.
right? So that the cigar you smoke technically puts you into categories already. Are you middle class? Are you low middle class? High middle class? Are you broke?
Well, I'm broke all the time, but I have Davidoff. Does that?
So is anybody else who's wearing that Louis Vuitton. They're broke all the time, but got Louis Vuitton.
Yeah. Damn.
I'm broke.
They get fit into categories, right? And even though average Joe smokers, they smoke a range of cigars, right? That still gets you put into a category about $60,000 a year, $68,000 a year for average Joe to be able to smoke cigars. If you're under $40,000 a year, you're smoking bundles,
Oh man.
right? So that kind of
You
put you in
shouldn't
the
be smoking
category, and I
cigars.
think the cigar maker knows that. The cigar maker knows how much you can afford, because even I can kind of figure it out, right? Cigar maker knows this bundle cigar goes to where, in this specialty cigar, boutique cigars, who is the target audience. These ultra premium cigars, I know exactly who's buying it. I know exactly how much I had to release to sell out in a year, because these are their clientels.
Yeah.
So that tells me that there is an image that they're expecting certain cigar to have for the person that's smoking. Because when Michael Jordan walks out with his cigar, he ain't looking like a hobo. I promise you. Right?
No, he wouldn't.
If you gotta see, can you imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger smoking a nub? His lip is bigger than that. He had to smoke
Yeah, I don't
something
think he
big,
would.
right? He was like, don't embarrass me. Smoke a big cigar.
He
Stop
would
being a pussy,
almost say, "Don't embarrass me, bitch."
Yeah. 880, let's go. The chopper.
Get in the chopper.
Get in the chopper and get a digger. Right? You can kind of put,
I'll get a digger.
right? You can kind of like imagine what kind of people smoke what kind of cigar, because it gives that image. Right? So now that you think about it a little bit, don't you think so?
Yeah, but in all honestly, I don't really care.
Well, obviously, I know you don't really care. And usually the person who's smoking it don't care. It's the person who's looking at it cared.
Oh, now you put it that way.
So, yeah. So, no one's looking at you, Eric. It's okay.
I don't want nobody looking. I don't care if anybody looking at
the
me.
only reason people are looking at you is because they want to see if you die after the 5 shots. They want to see if this guy dies after 5 shots espresso. They don't want to see what cigar you're smoking. They're looking at you drinking down those espressos. That's why they're looking at you. Okay.
Hey, at
They're
least
not
I got
looking at you
attention.
because, so that's why.
What-
So that's why they're not looking at what cigar
I
you're
got
smoking.
attention without cigars. I got attention with no cigars. What up? Just
Yeah.
espresso.
Because everybody will be talking about you. And the waitress goes over there, hands over the coffee, espresso, walk over to did you know that guy just ordered 5 espressos? That guy's going to die. And then
Yeah.
and then the front desk is going to tell the manager, did you know somebody ordered 5 espresso? I think that guy's going to die. And then that manager goes talk to the janitor. You might have to clean up because I just saw somebody order 5 espresso. I think that guy's gonna die. So you got all the attention of the whole entire store before you even lit up a cigar. And then once you lit up a cigar, it's like, did you see that guy with the 5 espresso? He just bought a cigar. He's gonna die. And then the bartender walks over, see if you anything else, and saw you bought an Opus X. It's like, I think that's his last cigar. He just bought an Opus X. He's gonna die.
What the fuck?
You see what I'm saying? You got the attention. You got that image. Because the image is only from the person that's looking at you. So they're looking at you thinking that you're crazy guy have 5 espresso shots about to die. That's your image.
So that's my image. Okay.
Right.
I need to change that.
Yeah, stop drinking 5. Start drinking 6.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll call the ambulance for you automatically before you even start anything.
You'll be waiting.
Right? So there is an image. I mean, just like, how you perceive it. And usually, obviously, judging is from someone else that's looking at others, right? And people who, and this is why I think it's interesting, because people who are doing this don't think about it.
Yeah.
Right? You automatically fit that role. You feel good when you dress up and smoking. You fit that role automatically. Even if you didn't think that's an image, it's just like, I feel good when I dress up and go smoke.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I love that. So I don't
good,
know.
Right? But that's a feeling, and that puts you in the category. Right? And there are some people say, I just want to wear a t-shirt because I want to relax. I don't give a fuck what I look like. I can go in there with a whitey-tighty if I could.
That's freaking Martine.
That's me sometimes.
That's
Just going
Martine.
there with fucking t-shirts.
He's going there with slipper and shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah. And that's what Martine's image is, right? That neighborhood, Mexican that just want to smoke anything he have.
But I also dressed up and gone to a lounge. Straight after work, I had gone in my shirt and tie from work and then just smoked some cigars. And it felt good.
Yeah, but you broke that image right away. The moment you sit down, you order a Modelo, that image is broken.
No, this was at in Fuego, I think. So it was just cigars, no alcohol.
Just cigar, no alcohol. I don't know. If you guys ever seen Martin dressed up, go look at, or if you still have any of those old reviews, he does it after doing work. He's all dressed up and anything. He have that image of a hard-working person that's tired of the world, but he just needs a cigar, and he does not give a fuck about the world the moment he's smoking that cigar. When he's done, he's like, oh, fuck, I'm going to go back to work.
Yeah,
you can tell that's the case.
Yep. That's true. Because when I see Martine, I he got a tie, but I look like he's just working like a dog. He's like, I just want a cigar.
Right? He give that vibe. He have that image, right? And it's harder with Albert because Albert, every time we see him smoking, you see that he's really relaxed in the lounge, or he's at the chat at home already. So he's already relaxed. It's really hard to tell what kind of image he gives because when we see him, he's either on vacation or he's already relaxed at home. So that means t-shirts, pants, just whatever that relaxes him. But you can tell what kind of smoker he is because whenever he's smoking, he's just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, this is what I'm smoking. Look, it's more like I said, he fit into that average Joe category. Where he smoked an expensive cigar, if it's on his hand, he would. But he preferred to, just whatever he can, I guess, planned out. He's like, okay, I have this plan. I'm going to smoke this and that. He's one of those people that will have 3 cigars in front of him ready to go if he knows that he's got to smoke 3 cigars.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And that 3 cigar will be heavily budgeted.
Mm-hmm.
So I will smoke this $10, and the next one's $2. The next one's going to be $8. Okay.
No, man.
Right.
And you got the image
I mean,
of I hate every fucking cigar out there.
I don't.
I don't. Just the way you say, I don't.
Like, for me, I'm like, I don't really choose my cigars, right? I just go around and see what I have and grab one and smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, right. You don't choose. It take you forever to pick a cigar. Because you don't choose.
Like, why
just
should I
grab
smoke?
one.
I don't know. It's like me going to a pet shop and every dog is like, hey, pick me. I'm like, I don't know what you to pick. They're all cute. I only got one mouth, so.
Wow.
Shit.
Right? I got a limit of what I can choose, so I had to be very
you
careful
went
on
there.
choosing. I mean, if I was there, I was choosing a cigar and somebody said just smoke that, I'll just take it. You know?
Yeah. Why not?
Right. If I'm walking around an hour and a half with a midnight oil, I'll smoke that shit.
No. I go buy another one.
You know, I'm saying if hour and a half was that. I mean, obviously, if I'm going to the shop, I'll pick another thing.
I
right?
hope that's not all you have.
Right. And when I go to the shop, I try to pick something up, but a lot of time I feel like there's nothing for me to pick. It's
That's
not
the
I'm
thing.
being picky too, because like I could smoke any of the cigar in there, right?
Yeah.
So it just make it harder to choose because I'm not trying to go crazy on spending. At the same time, I'm not, my choice is a lot wider than everybody else, right?
That's the problem, man. That's a huge problem because, yeah, me and Tony, when we hit the humidor, we're like, what the fuck are we smoking?
Right. When we went to Miami, the first thing was like, okay, what should I smoke? And look around like this, nothing goes like, okay, let's do a Royal.
Right?
Right. But not because we try to show something about a Royal, because everybody can, we smoke Royal before in front of people. There's nothing to prove. In fact, we don't even talk about it. When we sit down there, we talk about it.
We don't even say one word about it.
Yeah, we just smoke it and then, continue the conversation, because that's not really the image that we care for. But the people who's looking at you would, right? The people who might be the next door is like, do you see those two Asian guy motherfuckers smoking a Royal? Who they trying to prove? Who did that show? Huh?
I bet you, like, the guy that sold it to us, like, what the fuck?
Right? Oh, I mean, obviously they do sell Royals. They know people will buy Royal, but we walk in like a hobo, so they were like,
exactly.
Why is these two people smoking a Royal? Right?
Like, we wasn't even dressed up
idiots.
or anything like that.
You know what I'm saying? And then we sit down and have a conversation, but we're having conversation with everybody who's smoking a different range of cigars.
Yep.
Right? Like, it didn't matter. So the moment we sit down talking to everybody, that characterization disappears a little bit. But if we were to sit there solo, that characterization change again. Now imagine if you're by yourself, even if you look like a hobo, smoking by yourself at a corner with a Royal, somebody's got to judge you.
Or like the two idiots that's in the Davidoff lounge with two big ass Davidoff bags.
We definitely got judged that day.
Oh yeah, that's a definite judge.
Because we both dressed up a little bit.
Yes, that's the thing. We were a little dressed up. And just
We're a little dressed up, and we're sitting in the corner. Not one person want to approach us. No one sit near us. Like they are at least 4 seats away.
Yeah.
We cannot hear anybody else talking. And it's not like we tried to purposely scare people away, but they were like, "Look at these two businessmen talking shit." And we're actually talking the dumbest shit ever. We're like, take this thing to Val, see what happens.
I know, like we can't wait to show Val or something like that.
Yeah. And we're not even smoking anything crazy. We're smoking Camacho. But not that they can tell because they're sitting like so far away. One guy was with the dog. They're like, make sure to keep the dog away from them. That dog was so far away from us.
Yeah, that
They're
dog
like,
was...
you Asian, they gotta eat my dog. The only two people that approach us, one is the waitress who brought over the drinks. And the other one is the guy that cleaned the ashtray, and he keep coming out to clean the ashtray as if he sees something.
It's like,
right?
Dude, he literally have the two eyes on us all the fucking time, the whole entire time.
Really?
It was insane. The guy that took
Don't change anybody else's ashtray.
He didn't change nobody's ashtray, dude. He just like staring at us. He was just staring at us like, okay, there's one ash. Go grab it.
Yeah, we're talking about one ash. One ash in there. He came last when there's no more ash in there, and he tried to dump it. There's no more ash in the ashtray. He tried to dump that empty ashtray. He just dumped it. Like, he just made that movement. There was nothing in there.
It was so crazy to me, dude.
So this is what I'm talking about. It gives an image, but only the people around you is judging you. You're not judging yourself with that image. And I think that's why I think it's interesting because people have that false judgment. Mm-hmm. And I was watching a video clip today and talk about this lady who went to the art school, and her projects tried to pretend that she's somebody who she isn't and try to get free shit, live for free for 27 days.
Oh damn!
And people give her free shit based on her look, like how she dressed. What she's wearing. She's wearing a fake Hermes bag. She borrowed a specialty shirt from her friend who's rich. She get into all this rich place. Not one person doubted her that she should be there. She went to a
Really?
5-star hotel, went into their back the gym spot room, and took a shower. And they required to sign in, right? She just put a random number and signed a stupid historical name there for 3 days. Showered every single day, used the lounge, sleep there, and eat at their free buffet bar thing for 3 days there. Not one person questioned her
Wow.
because the vibe she's giving off. And
Damn.
they assumed that. She didn't tell her that. She didn't tell anybody, oh, I'm rich and whatever. Nope, no. But she just gave up that vibe based on what she have on her. And people assume that's her category. She should be here at 5-star hotel. Should we go ask her? No, you should not go ask the client whether or not she should be here, because when she's pissed off, you got to lose your job.
Right.
And that's,
You would.
right? You will lose your job the moment you go question her, because, someone's about to lose their job because they question whether my wife had a Chinese accent. I'm telling you, guaranteed.
They
You know?
They didn't
She's still
question
pissed off about
her.
that, by the way.
They just thought.
She just talked about this before I came on Smoke today. She's like, I don't have accent.
Really?
I don't understand why.
Wow.
Yeah. They can piss off the wrong
Well,
person and
maybe-
lose their job. So, they don't question her. She went to this multi-billion-dollar auction thing, walk in, and not one person questioned her whether or not she can even afford anything. They were showing her stuff and give her free food. In fact, so when somebody approached her, she thought she blown her cover. And the guy asked, "Is our dessert to your liking? Let me bring you some more." She's like, "Holy shit. I thought I'm going to blow my cover, but based on how I look, they assume that I should be here. I should be that multi-million-dollar people, that they should be giving me more dessert." So, I think
Wow.
Cigar gave the same kind of category to people, believe it or not. I think,
Oh, yeah.
here's the thing, a lot of people, when you talk to them, and then somehow they found out you smoke a cigar, usually people are amazed. That, "Oh, you smoke a cigar?"
They're like, what? What? It's weird.
Like,
right?
Martin, I don't know if you ever
But then
had
if you
that
tell
at
them you
work.
smoke,
No.
really?
No?
I mean,
I don't know.
Not really. I've never really paid attention, I guess.
What? I don't know. I talked to my client when they find out that I smoke cigar. They're like, "Oh, you're so fancy." Really? I was like,
So fancy.
yeah. And
Extra fancy.
yeah, they're like, "Oh, you're so fancy." You mean? And they're like, "Is it like the movies?" I was like, "Well, no, not at all."
I've never paid attention. I mean, maybe I've had people come up to me, but I'm just so nonchalant about it that it's like, I don't know. It's just, I'll talk to people about cigars, but it's nothing like, "Oh my God, you smoke cigars?"
No?
I don't
What
know.
about
Maybe
you?
it's just
Like,
me.
I don't know if the industry have that kind of questions, but like when people find out you smoke cigar, do they feel like, "Oh my God, you smoke cigar? I didn't know."
Yeah, I mean the conversation doesn't really come up very often, so there's that, and so if I do offer that information, it's people don't really know what to do with it. I think so. It doesn't really go too far. When I get to know some people and start talking about it a little bit, then it kind of turns into a conversation. I met a guy who just started working at our school, and he was very much into cigars. I think he's laid off a bit lately because of he can't smoke in his house, and he hasn't really gone to any lounges because of just the timing and everything. So he can't really carry cigars into a lounge either. So there's that. So I think he smoked his own stuff, and he's like, "I don't want to go outside, it's too hot, so I limit my smoking to late fall, that kind of a thing." But he was very much into cigars, and it was really cool. We were able to have a good conversation about it, but he didn't give off a vibe, but we were able to connect and talk and try to make a connection that way. So that was kind of cool. But no, it doesn't really come up. But I will say this. Let me go back to this other thing. Every once in a while we had some bikers that would come into the shop, and I tell you, they would typically go smoke the Flathead by CAO Flathead. When I was up in Chicago, a suburb of Chicago, it was in Orland Park, which is a good 30-40 minutes away from Chicago. There was a little cigar shop that Val and I was sitting at, and everybody that came in that looked like they might, they had like the leather vest, that they use for, riding motorcycles, whatever. They'd go over and get a Flathead cigar. It was pretty funny. That happened about 3 or 4 times as we were sitting there. It was a vape and cigarette shop, but he also had a humidor, a very nice humidor actually for what it was. But clearly his clientele was more the cigarettes and vapes. And he had a couple chairs there that we were sitting there smoking. And sure enough, man, everybody that came in that were in the biker kind of genre, if you will, went and got a flathead cigar, which I thought was kind of funny. And then at the cigar lounge that I was working at, we had a bunch of bikers come in one time, and some of them were not cigar smokers, and they went after like the Fat Bottom Betty, which is a real sugary cigar. And then there's another one called which was kind of funny, but it's a badass band, right? I mean, it's a real cool looking band, which I think helps fit that. And if you think about it, South Dakota too is right up there near Sturgis. I guess Sturgis is pretty close by. So that's where the Deadwood cigars were all, there's some kind of biker connection with Deadwood cigars. But then there's another cigar called a Rough Rider. And that is like a super sweet Connecticut cigar, but it's got a skull on it. And they were drawn to that cigar as well. I mean, they just came in and bought like half a box of that. Hey, try this one, try that one. But they were not, you could tell they weren't really cigar smokers, but once they put the cigar in their mouth and they're riding that, or where they're hanging out, they had the image of being this badass cigar smoker, but in truth, they were smoking some sugary little cigar. So it was kind of funny. But anyway, you're onto something with that, though. I mean, it is for the viewer that gives us judgment, if you will, about what people are doing, and it's not always the person doing it. So, yeah, which I'm kind of glad too, because I think if you got somebody in there buying cigars, smoking cigars, that's an awful lot of trouble for an image. So, if someone's doing it, they probably deserve the pain or the money, that it costs to go and have that image, preserve that image.
No, I don't know if people does this when they're working, but I'm pretty sure, you could try to work in a cigar shop, but everybody who came in, you just kind of guess what cigar he's going to get. And you probably will get it right sometimes.
Yeah. I think you can.
Oh, yeah.
You can, and I think some of that goes with dress, like how they're dressed, and you can kind of get a feel for it. You really do. You especially know if they walk in and they think it's like a vape shop, and you could really tell by their demeanor how they look over the humidor, and they just kind of have this deer in the headlight stare, and then you're like, oh yeah, it's around the corner, And so we were able to spot that pretty well, but. A lot of that just is how you carry yourself, how you walk in, and if you've been there before, if you know a little bit about what the environment's about.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, right? So we judge them and we put them into categories and what cigar they smoke. Okay, it might be vice versa, right? How they dress, and you kind of can guess what cigar they smoke. Or it could be the other way around. What they smoke kind of tells you about them because they fit. Because they fit, right? So,
or if they come in with a kit, if they come in with a kit and they open up their kit and they have all the utensils, all the tools, if you will, for cutting the cigar, and they're using the clipper. You see some people with the scissor cut.
The scissors, okay. Once you see the scissor one, like that's a super aficionado or snob. Either one, they cannot be in between.
Right.
You run into this guy's gonna take 15 hours to light up his cigar watch.
Yeah, it's a whole process that they use.
Right. Yep. It's just light everything, cleaning on the table, put the mat out, just lay everything down, and then just do one step at a time. Right. And then he came in at 9 a.m. when you're about to open. By the time he lit up a cigar, it's time to close.
But even cigars, but cigar smoking, there is a ritual with cigar smoking. I mean, there's no doubt about it. There's a process that you have to do because you have to cut it. You have to deal with the cellophane. Your lighter has a lot to do with it. If you're going to use your own lighter, if you're going to use a shop lighter, if you're going to borrow someone else's lighter, people have kind of a pattern that they follow, and it does say something about them as a smoker. That's for sure.
But that's what I'm telling you about, right? So you think about that. You think about average Joe smoker, and you think about people who had the whole set kit, and then you have that category of cigar makers, right? You see this how they smoke, and light it up. That's it. That's it. They don't have a ritual. They just lit it up and smoke. You know, they everybody from their industry is telling us that there's a ritual, and they are the only one who doesn't follow it. They just go knock it off. Okay, let's go. You know, they no longer care about that ritual. They just need to smoke it really quick.
Right.
So that, you know, that's why I said they are a different category. It's like they are supposed to be the person that tells you the magic, the feeling behind this whole craftsmanship. You know, this 300 hand that touches it, smoke it wisely. You know, but yeah, when you actually meet them, they lit up faster than anybody else. They don't even toast it. They just lit it up and start talking. And they don't cut the cap. They just chewed it off.
Like, to me, with the ritual and the meaning of the smoking cigar, it's actually up to the person, right? Like how they want to go towards how to light a cigar and stuff like that, cut it. You know, the ritual that they do is all up to the person, right? Like how they proceed the process of smoking cigar would be. So I don't know. Sometime like if I smoke one myself, yeah, they don't.
I mean, once in a while, I'll play with it. Just average Joe will just they will cut it, and they will toast the side sometimes, and then they will light it up. And the people who doesn't follow the most cigar reviewers, we don't have that 30 seconds to light up the cigar. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we don't. We like no clip, fucking torch the shit out of it. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna review this within the hour we have. Let's hurry up, light it up, cut it. Okay, there you go. You know, only Martin like to slow down that moment. Like everybody, watch that moment for 25 seconds.
Yeah,
we are like, let's light this up in 3 seconds.
No, I don't even show me really lighting it. I just cut it, boom, cut. I'm lighting it. Like,
right? Oh my god, you know that's. I mean, I think this is a very interesting topic. I hope the listener find this interesting, and then and maybe it'll be something that you can sit down and just start thinking about it. Go, hey, yeah, it kind of makes sense. I can kind of figure out what that guy is like, or what this is about, kind of thing. Right? You start to go, oh, okay, yeah, I can see that's him. Yeah, I bet he's gonna go grab a Davidoff, you know, that kind of stuff. So I can see people judging on the side because I feel like now that I think about it, I do that too. You know, I'm like, watch that guy. He's gonna go grab that Cuba. Watch. Oh yeah, he grabbed the Cuba. Or like, you know, watch Eric. He's gotta go get a Fuente. Because there's nothing else he's gonna be smoking here. Just he's gotta go grab a Fuente. And then next thing you know, he grabbed 15 and start giving it out. Yeah.
Yep.
I know. I did clean that shit out. I cleaned that whole thing out. I did. I bought all of it.
So you know, that happens, and I think that's a very interesting thing. And then I'm not saying to do it with malice. I'm doing like, you know, just look at it sometime and just guess it and see how what does that tell people about tell you about the people. And then next time you might be able to figure out what people's thinking about you when you're grabbing the cigar. It'd be very interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, now you're gonna make me think about it every time.
Shit, I'm gonna start fucking dressing up more.
Like, man, I'm gonna every time I go grab a cigar in the lounge, I'm like, fuck, what are you thinking about me? Like, the fuck?
Right.
Like, you know, if anybody's interested, they should try to cross-dress and go buy a Lancero. People be like, yep, that's what I think that he was gonna grab to start with.
No.
Oh, no, that's not gonna happen. No, fuck that, dude. How about you try that, Tony, and tell me how it is?
Like, what kind of cigar does a drag pick?
Lancero.
If you see a drag that just got off work, what kind of cigar will he pick?
Lancero.
He's not gonna pick he's not gonna pick a Toro Plus. I can tell you that.
No, I think a Groovy Blue. Groovy Blue.
Groovy Blue. Oh shit! Yeah. So yeah, I think this is an interesting topic. I hope that people will find this interesting. Make sure to comment. Tell me about what you think your cigar tells people about you. You know, what you smoke tell people. Either the brand or the size, or you know, whatever that how you smoke maybe. What do you think people think about you when they're looking at you? This guy's smoking. You know, and that would be very interesting to see the comments on. So make sure to comment once you listen to this podcast and let us know. You know, what do you think? What do you think about this topic? You know, do you feel the same way? What do you feel that percentage is very too high? Maybe it's 50% of the people are average Joes, you know? So with that said, you know, it's 1 hour. We'll cut off the podcast here today. And, you know, hopefully you enjoyed it. And we will have another episode next week. So that will be it today. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you
See
guys
ya.
later.
You've been listening to the In the Shadows podcast. There's nothing like a fine cigar, and that's our passion. And on the show, we'll talk about everything and anything cigars. And you know what happens when you get a bunch of guys together smoking cigars. The conversations go on. And that is what this show is all about. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. Remember, everything you need is on YouTube at Soy Sauce Assassin. The live show is every Wednesday and Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And get cigar reviews. Wishing you long ashes. We'll see you next time on In the Shadows podcast.